Hello, my name is Stephen Wilner. I've called numerous times and tried to, send letters to the senator, and I always get unidentified staff people and have a bunch of issues. I'm in
Can I get your zip code as well?
Excuse me?
Your zip code as well.
My zip code, 92115.
Okay, and how can I help you today?
Well, that's one of the issues, is where do I live and what's going on. I'm in Argentina. I've been trying to get a hold of the senator for over a year. Last time I called, they told me they didn't have my form. So what do I do about the government losing forms, not looking at forms, and all these issues? How do I get assistance from my elected representative?
So have you already sent in the privacy release form?
Yes.
And did somebody get back to you?
No. All I get is excuses, delays, we will get back to you, and all those kind of things. And then people that don't want to even identify themselves. So I'm in Argentina. I'm a disabled individual, so I'm requesting accommodations under the Americans with Disabilities Act. And I don't feel that Senator Kamala Harris is doing anything to represent me as a citizen. But they want me to pay my taxes. What?
I'm sorry you feel that way. Sorry you just broke up for a little bit, but what was the situation?
Well, there's a lot of situations. Right now I'm in Argentina, and I was just thrown off a cruise ship. I still don't know why. They did give me my money back, but I've been banned from the cruise ship, and I'm a disabled individual, and I had a diplomat telling me he had diplomatic immunity and that I couldn't record him and all kinds of things. I mean, there's just a lot of issues, and I send emails to case manager or whatever the email address is. I don't get any response. I can come back to America. I stopped payment on my passport. I just got a new passport because the pages ran out. I have a Thai wife in a village ceremony in Thailand about 2 years ago. The fiance visa, we were rejected, but I'm wasting my time telling you this because you're not going to do anything with it. You're not even going to identify yourself. So how do I get something?
Our office to do specifically?
I would like them to interject between me and the government officials. I'm told that there's a Marshal Gallo that is looking for me, but my friend won't give me his name. I'm told I'll be arrested when I come back to America. That should be a pretty easy thing to look at. I am being penalized, I'm sure, by the IRS, but I want a meeting with the IRS to resolve the differences. I believe I paid my fair share of taxes, but I haven't filed. There are issues, and I am traveling, but I can't even get into a mailbox in one of my properties. Now my roommate is moving out, so there's going to be more property problems because, I have property, but I have property in Thailand too, and I have a Thai wife that I'm in love with that I choose not to leave, but there's issues with that. She was rejected at an airport, and we had to buy another ticket, and I'm still fighting that. I have a lot of problems being a disabled individual. And so when I reach out over a year to Senator Kamala Harris, all I see her doing is running for president and say what the president is doing wrong, but doing nothing in the job that she was that was voted for. And I'm one of her constituents. That's what you're checking my zip code for, right?
Yes.
And I don't even know where I live anymore because I can't get my mail. Everybody asks me where I live, so there must be some legal ramifications. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm a disabled individual, and I need some help. And I'm going to ask you again, would you please identify yourself?
I'm sure, as you know, unfortunately, we can't give out our names here.
You can, but you choose not to. That's what's kind of stupid. I'm Steve Wilner. I'll give you any information you want. I will answer all your questions, but your office won't do anything.
I understand. So usually our office helps with these cases to inquire about them and see what the problem is. And if they already have your case open, then they are looking into it, and as soon as there is any update, they will contact you directly.
That's not good enough. It's the same as I will get back to you. If this is a lady that thinks she can run the country, and I tell her in all my posts, I post all over Facebook. It can be, I'm open, honest, and transparent. If I'm not, and same as her, I smoked pot in college. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the catch-22, not my job, we'll look into it, or excuses. If you're going to tell me you're going to do nothing, then I'll quit wasting my time, and I'll do everything I can to campaign against her and find somebody that will represent their constituents. But
that's just not true. We would like to help you to the best of our ability.
Well, but that's just lip service and fancy words, and I am not a fancy guy. I cuss, I swear. I'm from a construction family, and people get pissed off with me at your office because you don't like the way I talk or the way I look or the way I think. I've been hung up on a million times. And do you have a file on me? That would be, and I'm all over the internet. I do everything open, live, and transparent. Do you have a file on me? My name is Stephen Wilner. When was the last time anybody looked at the file? What was the results of that? And is there anybody in the office that can answer questions? Or do we just have unpaid interns that are talking to me on the phone, listening and doing nothing? I'm stuck in a foreign country right now, only because I choose to be, but I have a wife and I have a responsibility to her, and we want to be together. And I don't think the government should be so far up my you-know-what that we can't do anything.
So ultimately, you're seeing what is going wrong in terms of both you and your wife coming to this country?
The main thing, if I could simplify it for simple people, because I'm a dumb son of a you-know-what, you guys need one thing. There's not one thing that's wrong. There's a million things that are wrong, or at least 10. But if we have to focus on one... What?
We just need to narrow down on where our office can help with a federal agency.
Well, you're going to tell me you can't because the federal agency is quote-unquote doing their job. But the last interview in Buenos Aires at the embassy, there are tapes, there are video calls. I think the guy knew he was recorded, and he's very polite, very nice. My wife, I say I want to bring two people, and I don't, you can do one thing, simply. Is it illegal? Totally. She's a lawyer. I bet that there is exceptions to every rule and law, that we've had people doing their job, but nobody, it's kind of like Senator Harris right now and you. Nobody's watching because we don't know your name. We don't know anything.
You're not telling me exactly what happened. So there's an interview at the embassy in Buenos Aires.
My wife is right here next to me. She walked in. We did 30 pages, and they're hacking my internet stuff or something is happening. But we did over 30 pages. We printed out everything. We answered every question there was and gave them all the facts. And if they had additional questions, we'd be willing to answer them. But I find out after, because I couldn't accompany my wife, I couldn't send two witnesses, and they wouldn't allow me to record it. But I find out after the fact, they did not look at any of the paperwork, and this is not the first time this has happened, any of the paperwork that we provided. And let me make it even simpler for you, unidentified man, that we are simple people. All we want is any kind of visa we can qualify for, and what the steps are specifically, rather than discretionary judgment of people that nobody's watching.
I understand.
But if you understand, what can we do? It's very nice to understand. I understand your job is to listen to me and then do nothing. and it gets passed along or buried.
Okay, so I can check to see. I don't know where the case is, unfortunately. I don't have access to that at the moment.
Standard excuse, thank you very much. But what information do you need to me to have somebody with power and authority, preferably the lady that has the job that she's out campaigning, another job she wants, I give you my phone number, I'll give you my email address, I'll give you my WhatsApp, I'll give you my Facebook, I'll give you anything you need. I'm available. All I do is
I'll take their number and email address.
Okay. Now there's problems. There's one more issue of the 10 that we didn't talk about.
Sure.
I FCC and T-Mobile, and I think John Ledger is a stand-up guy. He's very similar to Senator Harris. He's in a position of power and authority. He has, if it's truly him and not his staff, and I've had issues with him about that before, but I think the man is honest. I think everything he's done, he's a hard-working guy, and he's trying to make changes, same as she wants to make changes. She wants to be the next president. And Donald and I, we get along, but he's not my favorite guy. I think he lies too much. But it's a hard job, and I understand positions of power and authority. I used to have some back in the day. So
right. So what did the FCC do?
They did nothing. Same thing. We'll look into it for you. We've sent it back to T-Mobile. T-Mobile, things are getting better, but I never got my number back, and I don't even know if I could get my number back because they delay, deny, and intentionally interfere. My layman's knowledge of the law is that's illegal. But I'm not a lawyer.
Just the email then, I guess we'll do.
Steve W407 at gmail.com. Would you repeat it back to me, please?
Steve W407 at gmail.
Right, and my .com. And my wife is SUKSUN12 at gmail.com. SUKSUN12 at gmail.com. If you would carbon copy her, we have a better chance of seeing things. We don't, always get everything. I'm overwhelmed. I can't do it. And I would like to take a cruise. Well, it gets back to the celebrity cruise ship problem. I would like to take a cruise I can readjust my plans to take the cruise from Santiago, Chile to San Diego. I think it leaves on about the 24th of March. We could readjust our plans if you get back to me in a day or two. And we could, they need 10 weeks to marry us. And maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't allow us on this ship. I still don't know. And I'd like the senator to look into, I don't know. I think that I was told that was a Maltese corporation or something. But all these corporations have so many layers and levels and legal stuff. It's pretty difficult to get any responsibility out of some of them. But Boeing, the airlines are going to stop the flights. I thought that was pretty safety first, and I like it. I'm afraid about the stock market and Boeing and all that, but you got to put people's lives first. But nobody gives a shit about my life, but that's okay.
Okay, well, I do appreciate you being so civil on this phone call and explaining everything. I have all this information. I will pass it along and see if I can get some contact on it, and I have your email down, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can on this.
But that's the same answer. Is that a day? Is that a week? Is that a month? Is that a year?
Unfortunately, that's just the most I can do at this point.
Okay.
I can look into it, and hopefully we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Okay, and can I find out if there's any wants or warrants, or if my friend is jerking my chain? Does Marshall Gallo want to talk to me? What is going on?
Okay, I'll have that down as well.
Okay. Thank you, unidentified man. This is just recorded. This is just recorded on YouTube. I don't know if that's against the law. I hope you're recording it too. Hope somebody's reviewing it. I hope somebody's doing something with it. Because if she can't run her office, she certainly can't run the country. But there's 20 people, and that's a long way off, and that's a long time to be running. So maybe when you say you don't know how long it'll take, maybe it'll take till after she's out of office, and we get a new senator. So
Did you say you were recording the call?
I am recording it on YouTube. It's I haven't posted it publicly.
You don't have permission to record this phone call.
Well, are you sure that's a law though? Because I'm in Argentina. What laws do I run under anymore? I don't even know where I live. I want to know if I can get a.
Have permission to record this call. So
well,
we'll have to end this call now.
Well, before you've ended them without even you push buttons on my computer and ended them without me even knowing how or why. It just disappears. That's a little too much power for our government, I think.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.